This is the Blackberry Passport versus the iPhone 6. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is your boy Jay Will. We're going to get into a quick comparison and a mild battle with the Blackberry Passport versus the iPhone 6. I'm going to stick to the same set of rules that I do if I were doing a review and touch on a few things that people might see or notice immediately when picking up one of these devices. So as you can see here, I have a picture loaded up on here and I have the wallpaper set over here. And the reason I did that is because when I loaded this exact picture on the iPhone, you couldn't see that much. But I want to show you that this is the full picture, and here it is here. So let's get into the actual wallpaper. And this is all that the iPhone could crop to. So you can see the colors in here. I did want to make it fair so you can see just some of the colors. You can see how it produces the colors. So the screen on here is a 4.5 inch display, and this is a 4.7 inch display, but this is a square display, and this is kind of a long regular type of display that you would normally see on a cell phone. So this is 453 pixels per inch, and I don't know how these pictures look. I'm pretty sure they show a lot of colors and things like that, but definitely it looks a lot better on the Blackberry Passport. The colors are very vibrant, and they're almost too bright on the iPhone 6, but it still looks good. Just compared next to the Passport, the colors look a lot better. And the screen being a higher resolution display, you know, that definitely plays a huge part in it. 1440 by 1440 compared to 750 by 1334. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You get the point. So the screen on this one is definitely better on the Blackberry Passport. Now let's get into design and body and feel and hand on both of these devices. So the Blackberry Passport comes in 4 different colors: black, white, red, and a black and gold. And the black is soft touch, and the white in the other room over there is like a matte feel. This has a 13 megapixel camera with a single LED flash. This has a 2 megapixel on the front. It has dual speakers on the bottom, 4 microphones on the device itself, a touch sensitive keyboard, and the fact that it has a physical keyboard is fantastic. It actually has an SD card slot, non-removable 3450 milliamp battery. Overall, I think this device is put together extremely well, very sturdy. It actually feels really good in the hand. Now, the fact that it has a wide display, that won't take away from your experience from putting this in your pocket. Now, for the end user, just a person walking in the store, they'll probably look at this device and say, oh no, there's no way I can buy that. It's square, or it's way too wide. But I can guarantee you, after using this device for, I'll go ahead and say, 1 full day, you'll be surprised at how quickly you actually get used to this type of design. It was the same thing with the Galaxy Note 9. Everybody said it was too big, too bulky, and that it wouldn't work. Well, I think Blackberry is onto something. And Blackberry, if you're listening, you better stay with this and go with it, because this is a phenomenal design. Just the entire way this is built. It has this steel beam that runs down the center of the device, which is just very nice. And I'm glad that they didn't do it all aluminum. And they gave it some soft touch on the back and a glass on the front with the full keyboard. I think that is a beautiful design. So the iPhone 6 is nothing new about this. We all know the iPhone 6 has been on the market for a little bit. This is obviously, Apple has mastered some design elements, because this is square and this is long and curved and round in your hand. So this has a 1810 milliamp battery in here, 8 megapixel camera on the back with a dual tone flash, has a 1.2 on the front, has Touch ID on the Touch ID sensor home button here. It's all aluminum. That's pretty much it. It's nice and compact, really small, fits right in your hand. The Passport is actually a little shorter. It's just a little bit thicker. This is 9.3 and this is 6.9. This weighs 129 grams, and this weighs 196. So believe it or not, that won't play much of a part for you. Trust me, when you're using a device, you'll get used to it pretty quickly. So for the body on here, I like the setup on the Passport better because it's something new, and I get a bigger screen and I get a physical keyboard. I just think that is a beautiful thing compared to the iPhone. The iPhone, yeah, it can fit in any pocket, but so can the Blackberry Passport because it's short and stubby, so it can go into your pocket. I actually put this in my pocket, and I don't even know that it's there sometimes. It does weigh a little bit more, but the overall design of the Passport is very revolutionary. This is innovation. It's very nice to have a full keyboard, and it's not just a keyboard. This is actually a trackpad, if you will, touch sensitive. You can scroll through web pages with it. Really nice. Apple introduced this Touch ID to unlock the device, but that's where it stops. That's nothing else about it. And it's really locked down to just what Apple wants you to use it for. It's Apple Pay and to unlock your device. So just as is, the Blackberry Passport definitely to me has the better body, and I think this is a sexy design. So let's move on to sound quality. This has a single speaker that comes out at the bottom, and this one has dual speakers that come out at the bottom, and I can tell you that they really do the trick for it. I'm glad that since they made this crazy new design that they put 2 full speakers on the bottom, because I would have been upset if it was just 1 speaker and you've got all this body on there, and if it would have been front facing, oh God, it would have been even better. Now the single speaker on the iPhone 6, it is a loud speaker, but just one of these speakers is probably just as loud as this speaker here. But when you've got 2 of them, rest assured that it is going to be loud, and not just loud, crisp, clear. This has 4 microphones, and I believe this one has 2. I think it has 2. Yeah, I know it has this cancellation on the back, and it has the one on the bottom, but this one has 4 microphones in it. So commands when doing voice to dictation and things like that, it is really accurate. They both have a voice assistant. Obviously Siri is a well-trained and well-lubed machine, but the BlackBerry assistant is no slouch. It does exactly what you need to do, and it's very accurate. But back to the sound, the speakers on here are much better. So the camera department, the 8 megapixel camera on the iPhone, it is beautiful. It takes fantastic pictures. There is no getting around it. This thing can take some pictures. Megapixels don't count really in a lot of cases, but sometimes it does. Because when I matched the iPhone up against the Moto X, I thought the Moto X camera was okay compared to it, but when I put it against the Nokia Lumia 830, the Nokia Lumia 830 camera is just beautiful. It's a fantastic camera, and it's much better than the iPhone's camera. But when comparing the BlackBerry Passport to the iPhone 6 camera, I found that the 13 megapixel camera, it's nothing like what I read online where people say it's hard to focus. It takes a long time to focus. There's just a lot of bad things I've heard about this camera, but the reality is those people's standards are way too high. If you want a DSLR, go buy a DSLR. If you want a cell phone with a great camera that takes better pictures than the iPhone 6, this is one of them. There are tons of phones out there that have better cameras than the iPhone 6. But I just think the marketing of Apple is just fantastic. They can convince people that they're just getting the best when there are tons of cameras out there. Like almost all the Lumia phones have better cameras than the iPhone 6. And this phone is no exception. I think it takes better pictures than the iPhone 6. I think the video is a lot more clear. The optical image stabilization on this is phenomenal when shooting video. It's just an all-around great camera. And the front, they both are about the same to me. This has a 2 megapixel and this is 1.2. But video chat on both of these were about the same to me. I couldn't really tell that much difference in quality. But I know that the rear cameras is a lot better on the BlackBerry Passport. So let's get in the web browser. I'm going to start up a web browser here. I'm going to open up Mobile Tech Review. And I've already got it loaded on the on the iPhone here. And so let's just look at what you get here. This is both of the browsers here. And which one do you prefer? Are you used to, which most people are used to, this long scrolling view right here. But when you think about what you're getting here, you look at the text on here. Look at how small this area of text is over here. I can actually read this text right here without zooming in. If I scroll up a little bit, I could zoom in a little bit here, but if I zoom in here, look at how the text is. Look at the text. So you're getting a lot better experience in text on the web browser for the Blackberry Passport. Is much more legible. You can read it really easy without even zoom. I can zoom out and still see that text. I can read that, but you zoom out on here, it's a lot smaller. But that's just a couple of things I noticed there. But web browsing on here, you can use the keyboard, just touch sensitive. You don't have to touch the screen. But on here, I have to touch the screen to navigate up and down. And not to say that that's just a horrible thing, it's just a bad idea, but it's just that the playbook is offering you another option. And I think that's innovation right there. You can't say that it's not. That keyboard and just the way it helps out with the web browser is phenomenal. Other than that, we all know the traditional way to web browse on a phone. Everything goes this way. And it's a good thing. But when you start to think about it, if I can scroll through a web page without touching my screen, I can appreciate that a lot more. And I've gotten used to being on the web and surfing the web in this wide view instead of the long view. It is just a great experience. I'm checking the time here to make sure I'm got enough time. I don't want to make this too long. So that was web browsing. Call quality on these, I'm just going to call it a tie, because it's running over the same network, T-Mobile LTE network. No drop calls, nothing like that. Both sound really clear. The only difference is the speakers on here is 2 speakers, so when you're using the speakerphone, it is a lot louder than the iPhone. That's about the difference there. It's still good. Also, while the iPhone does have HD calling, and I haven't gotten any HD calls on here, but still, it's still really clear on both of them. So that's kind of a, whatever network you're on, you could try it on AT&T or whatever you have it on, but call quality on both of these, I'm just going to call it a tie. It was pretty good on both of them. No problems with it. So feature rich definitely goes to the Blackberry Passport. It offers so much more. Mainly just this keyboard down here is what highlights it, and the screen. Just those combination of things right there are phenomenal when it comes to this device. Not just, also it's got working on this device in a Word document. It's much easier. Just handling, and not just from a business standpoint, emails, everything. And one feature that I haven't even spoken of yet that the iPhone doesn't have anything close to it is the Blackberry Hub. Now, I don't want to open the Hub up because it has personal information there, and I don't want to expose anyone's information, but the Blackberry Hub is one of the best ideas ever. Innovation. That is beautiful. The Blackberry is said to be more secure than any other device out there. I don't know. It's just being able to use this documents and spreadsheets and everything on here, and just emails, text, anything that involves this wide screen and this keyboard is a beautiful thing. But yeah, like I said, the iPhone doesn't even have anything close to the Blackberry Hub. And if it does, tell me in the comments. Let me know what it is. So obviously the Blackberry Passport is way more feature rich than the iPhone 6. And so obviously that's kind of a no-brainer there. But where could the iPhone stand tall with the Blackberry Passport? And this is the battery. This only has a 1810 milliamp battery, and this has a 3450. But you've seen me post pictures. If you haven't, look on Google+. I actually got 3 days out of this phone with about 6 hours or 7 hours of screen on time. With the Blackberry Passport, oh man, I can't even begin to tell you about the battery on here. This thing is a workhorse. It can really go the distance. And I'm talking about web browsing, Pandora at the same time, streaming. It is obviously it's going to go a long time because it has a 1340 50 milliamp battery, or 3450 milliamp battery. So that's a huge plus. Not to mention Evernote there. I forgot about that. But yeah, and the NFC that's in this phone, as you can see here, you can do smart tags. The NFC on the iPhone is limited to what? Okay. So yeah, I mean, iPhone is a great phone, but obviously the Blackberry Passport is not just a phone for business. There are a lot of personal users out there for that don't run a company, or probably don't even work for a big executive company or something like that. So, but I use this obviously for both. But this is a huge plus for reading. There's just a lot that goes along with this. The Blackberry Passport, some would say, why are you even comparing it to the iPhone? But, you know, this is just one of those things where I feel like you should do it because the so-called underdog, which is definitely this Blackberry Passport when it comes to, people say, oh, the apps are horrible. That's the first thing that people say. But again, what apps are in this iOS, the App Store, that you can't get on here? A lot of them are apps that you don't even need and you just want, or it's not really useful. The essential apps are in both of these, and we both know what the essential apps are. When you take out things like Google Plus, and because we're all indebted to Google in some kind of way, if you take away that, the essentials are on both of these. It's there. So all in all, the overall package of both of these devices, hands down, it goes to the Blackberry Passport. I don't think the iPhone was much of a contender to begin with, but I had to do this one-on-one with these devices because I just want to get more people to understand that everything is not what it seems. Apple just has great marketing, and that's kind of where it stops. If you think that the iPhone 6 or 6 Plus is true innovation, more power to you. Congratulations on your device. I obviously have both, so my opinion is going to be different. But if you don't have the Passport, don't say that it's not innovative. There's no innovation to it. Don't say that. Get the device and then use them both daily like I do, and then you can decide which one you think, because all of this is subjective. What I'm saying in this video, you can totally disagree with it, and I'll be perfectly fine with that. But I say that the Blackberry Passport, monster of device, and there's no way that the iPhone 6 or the 6 Plus can touch it. There you go. Comparison between the Passport and the iPhone 6. Passport comes out on top, even on a bad day. See you guys in the next video.